What is the content ID system here on YouTube? This is a question that, no doubt, many content creators have had at some point or another in their time on YouTube. And it's also a question that a lot of people outside of YouTube might be wondering whenever someone brings up that set of words, content ID. What is it? Well, to put simply, it's a system that's been put in place by YouTube to identify content that might be made by someone else and is being used in a way that violates the DMCA, or the Digital Millennial Copyright Act, which is a very old and outdated piece of law that needs to be changed, but that's besides the point. That's not what this video is about. Now, how it works is companies can submit various pieces of content. They can be just strictly audio, so like a music soundtrack for Face My Fears, for example, from Kingdom Hearts. It was originally created by Skrillex and Utada Hikaru, I believe, and it's in the Content ID system. Then there's also visual content, which can just be that, just video with no audio. Or it can be a combination of the two, of both visual and audio content. So say a cutscene with voices and music and such playing in the background of the cutscene. And unfortunately, the Content ID system isn't as simple as that, because it is what leads into the copyright claiming system here on YouTube, along with the DMCA system. Now, once a piece of content is ID'd in the Content ID system, several things can happen. For one, a manual bit can happen where companies, I believe, can just have it set to where they get a notification when something matching a content that they've uploaded to the Content ID system has been caught, has been identified by the Content ID system. And then they decide from there what they want to do about it. At least that's what I'm sure it is, because I've gotten random copyright claims on my stuff before from companies that didn't even own what they were content IDing or what they copyright claimed. And it was definitely a manual claim, because it was not the normal automated type of claim that you get. It's different from that, because manual claims, they normally don't have a timestamp on them when you view them through the Creator Studio on YouTube. However, when you go to dispute them, you will get to actually see the actual segment of the video that has been content ID'd. Now, that's the manual side of things. That's what can happen when the people who put the content into the Content ID system decide to do things manually. And that can be good, because they can then actually view the content and see if it meets fair use and then not do anything, which is always great for content creators who definitely have videos underneath the fair use category. And I'll explain what fair use is here in a little bit. Now, on the other side of that, though, there's the more common automated kind of dealing with that. And what can happen in an automated content ID and copyright claim that follows is the company that put the content into the Content ID system can have several things happen. Okay? They can have the video be blocked in some countries. They can have the video be blocked in all countries, so no one can view it. They can monetize the video just for themselves and take all revenue away from the creator. And if there are no ads in the first place, they can put ads on it that then go to them. And then there's I'd say the best case scenario, because it's still not the best case scenario, but it is, it's not the best thing ever, but the best case scenario would be that they have a revenue sharing type of thing going on, where the revenue is split evenly between the content creator and the people who put the content into the Content ID system. And that essentially covers what the Content ID system is and what that means for content creators. However, there is still more, because you can dispute these copyright claims that come onto your video as a result of automated content IDs and automated reactions by the system. And the reason that you want to do these as a content creator is if your videos fall clearly under fair use. For example, Let's Play videos. Those definitely, in my opinion, and in a lot of other people's opinions, fall under fair use, because of the commentary that one provides over top of the gameplay turns that work into a transformative work of their own creation. And more often than not, that will actually get the copyright claim to go away, and everything will return to normal for that video. But, and you really, really, really want to do this as a content creator, not just that way you can regain control over your video, monetization, and all of that, make sure it's not blocked anywhere, but when you have a copyright claim on one of your videos, it is suppressed as a result of that, which means you get far less views than you normally would. I've had that happen before, and it has sucked. But I've also, of course, disputed these false copyright claims, and views started rolling in once I managed to get the false copyright claims off the video, which is fantastic. But that is definitely a sign that you want to try and get these copyright claims off your videos as soon as possible if you're a content creator who has this happen to them. Now, that's just one example of fair use applying to a video's Let's Plays. Another example would be, say, you're doing a parody of another song. If you're doing a parody of a song, it can definitely be covered under that because you're transforming the work in some way. For example, if someone wanted to do a parody of Face My Fears. I'm using Face My Fears a lot because it's one of the few songs I've been listening a lot to lately. And they took out all the lyrics from it. And then they added their own lyrics that were similar but different. That would classify as a transformative work. At least I'm pretty sure it does. And I think a lot of people have covered this at some point. I'm pretty sure I've heard someone cover this at some point and say that counted. Pretty sure it does. Not totally sure, actually, now that I think about it. But you get the point at this point in time, that you want to try and fight these copyright claims if they happen to you, because they're not good for the videos, they will suppress the video. You want the money to go towards you and not towards some money-grubby company, because that can happen sometimes. And, yeah. That's the Content ID system in a nutshell, essentially. It's a system put in place by YouTube that companies can use to put their content that they've created into, so they get content ID'd and identified by the system, and then companies decide, whether by automated or manual means, what happens to the videos that the content is identified in. I unfortunately have had my own bouts with the Content ID system, as I've mentioned before, and I've won most of the disputes that I've gone into. Either by the company saying, okay, you're right, or YouTube stepping in and saying, okay, you're right, this company is wrong, don't do this again, company, yada yada yada. So yeah, that's Content ID system in a nutshell. Oh, I should actually mention that. Back to what I just said. Another thing that can happen when you go in to dispute it is if the company actually decides to uphold their claim and say, no, this isn't fair use, you're stealing our content, but you're absolutely sure that you're not stealing their content and it's still covered by fair use, you can still dispute it and take it up with YouTube, and YouTube will review it, and more often than not, if your video is actually covered under fair use, they will take away the copyright claim on your video, and then good news for everyone involved. Well, that's the whole Content ID system, kind of summarized, at least in my own words. I'm pretty sure that there are people out there who have done a far better job at summarizing the Content ID system and a little bit of the copyright claim system better than I have in this video, but that's just my take on it and my experience with it. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to hit that like button. Also, consider hitting the subscribe button to get notifications for my next upload a video. Don't forget to also check out links down below in my description for my Twitch, my Patreon, my Streamlabs, my Twitter, my other YouTube channel, and all that other stuff down below. And comment down below and let me know if you guys have had any run-ins with Content ID system and how you dealt with it and how it turned out for you. Have you ever encountered very egregious Content ID claims and companies who just wouldn't let up at all? Let me know down below. Don't forget to share this video on social media, and with all that being said, thank you guys once again for coming out to this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.